We'll see if we
No
get
problem.
people popping in. All right. Let me see here. I think. There we go. I've muted it. Awesome. All right. Let's see. Social comments display here. Chat overlay. As soon as we get some chat in, we will get this thing going.
Sounds
You want
good.
to start now? You want to give it a minute or two?
Yeah, let's give it a couple minutes, see if we get a couple people in here. That'd be really cool to get some actual people get in and watch the stream, comment.
Absolutely. Let's see here. I feel like let me post this over on the Discord channel. Let me send everybody the link. So many different things, man. Okay, we've announced it. We are live. If you
Let's
guys are
go.
just tuning in, let us know. Let us know. We're about to start in about 60 seconds here, guys. Might as well pull up YouTube as well. See if we're on there. We should be streaming to both channels. Let's see here. We are live.
Awesome.
All right, let's see if our chat comes in over here. Well, YouTube is not. Oh, there it is. It should. New comments will display here. I think we're set to go.
Yeah, PE. What up, PE?
All right, everybody, welcome to the Bomb Party Podcast, Episode 2. I am your host, Party. Always alongside me is going to be your co-host, Bomb Cards. Bomb, what it do?
How you guys doing, Party Posse? I'm glad to be back. I know it's been a minute, but we're here to give you a lot of information today. We're really excited to get this ball going. So we're definitely going to take off. We have a lot to cover for you guys. We're going to take care of everything as far as the MVP races that we have here, um, things that are going on around the league as far as the changes in rules, other stuff like that. So we're really excited to get everything started here for you. But it's definitely, I'm glad to be back here.
Absolutely. So there's been a tremendous, I mean, from this, I don't even think we've spoken since the Super Bowl. So, we have, John Morant suspended 8 games. Okay, we'll talk about that, PE. Thank you so much. That's why I love the live chat. So glad you guys are here. We're going to get more people in. What up, Kills?
Rogers to
So
the Jets.
Rogers to the Jets. Has that officially happened? Has it officially happened? Are you breaking the news, Kills? Is that what's happening? First, we're
Kills.
going to talk about MLB though. First of all, I don't like it. I don't like it, man. Bomb, tell me about the new let's call it a shot clock. I don't know, pitch clock, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, so we do have a lot of things changing here as far as with the MLB rules. So as far as the MLB rules go, we do have some interesting changes. I don't know how many of you guys follow baseball, but with baseball, a couple of things that they're changing. The first thing that we're going to start off with is the base size. So we're going from the average size, which was 15 inches square diameter for the bases. Now they're increasing it to 18 inches, which is going to make the bases a little bit bigger there. Um, how I feel about that, I'm not so sure. I mean, I think it's going to definitely make the game a little bit different as far as an ex baseball player, allowing more people to steal bases, get those steals off, and there's a lot more like coverage that they have to cover as far as the infielders go. The next thing that we do have here as well, we do have the pitch timer, which is the big controversy for most of us.
Well, sorry, Paul. Let me go back to this base size. 3 inches in diameter. I mean, did players' feet get larger? Like, I mean, what? I don't see any problem with the base size. What is the mindset behind that? Why? Any idea? Any guess?
So I don't have any mindset behind that. My guess would be just to kind of make it more room so that because before as in baseball, I mean, what you're known for, you don't see it a lot happening in the major leagues, but a lot of collisions happening with people trying to steal bases or trying to make places and stuff because they're going into such a small area where the play is. So people that get spiked, they can get injured. I think they're just trying to make it a little bit bigger to give it a little bit more room to kind of avoid situations like that. But I don't understand that reason why is either there.
Listen, I think we need smaller bases, and I think we need more fighting in baseball. Like, I want to turn it into hockey, man. I mean, it makes no sense. It's like is that the most dangerous portion of MLB is the base size? Like I would rather have the same size 15-inch square inch base than getting hit in the face with a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. But whatever. All right, so it's changed. What else we got in MLB that's different?
Yeah. So as we were saying, the second thing that we have is the pitch timer. So the pitch timer is a little bit confusing here. And how it works is for the pitch timer, a pitcher must begin his motion before the expiration of the 15-second time clock that they have. Now, a pitcher does get 20 seconds with at least one runner on base. And then he will also be able to have a 30-second clock for pitchers between batters. So they have a little bit of a time period that they have to get things going to speed up the game a little bit here. Now, I do have a couple of things here just to kind of cover why they are doing stuff like that and how it's enforcing it.
Wait.
Um,
So if I have a runner on base, I get more time than if I don't have a runner on base.
that is correct.
And so what if I just keep throwing over to first? Do I get endless amount of time to throw over to first and restart the clock?
No, so I do believe that did put a limit. It's called the balk rule. If you have two attempts to go ahead and pick somebody off at each base per batter. Anything after that, it will be considered a balk on the pitcher if he goes over more than two times to a specific base per batter. Now, they do have other rules and set in place for that as well. The whole purpose of it is to get the game to go faster, but it also can affect the pitcher and it can affect the batter by doing this. So the pitcher has to have, if he's not started his motion, or being in the motion to deliver a pitch before the expiration of the clock, he will be charged with a ball on the strikeout on the strike count. Um, if the batter delays entering the batter's box to try to slow the pitcher down, he can be charged with a strike as well. And I've seen it in some of the games already in the spring training and stuff like that, where major games have been ended on something like that. So it is kind of a crazy new rule. I don't know how you feel about it. What do you think?
Well, listen, I've been to countless Dodger games. I've been to Padre games and stuff. I love seeing my Buccos play the Dodgers. And okay, 3.5 hours is a long ass time at the ball game, and especially when it feels like there's an intermission. When the pitcher's taking his time to go up there and the batter's like raising his hand, stuff like that. I get wanting to speed it up. I don't get 15 seconds. I mean, I can't even get my thought process out to you in 15 seconds. Now, all of a sudden, you want me to make a split decision on a longer split decision of a 96-mile-an-hour fastball coming at me, and I got to jump back in the box and get ready. There's a whole mindset you have to get into when you're about to swing or get in that batter's box. You got to be careful, man. Yeah, exactly, Tiny. I think that 20 seconds or 15 seconds, whatever, is way too short. The other thing, though, is that I feel like there's been a loophole. I think it Justin Verlander who kind of rocks back and forth with his pitching, and he lifts his leg up and then puts it back down, lifts his leg up, and then as soon as that batter gets in, he is ready to go in his pitcher stance and then throws that ball. I
Yeah,
mean, because now it's like you could have no time as a batter.
Party's the wrong person to ask.
What are you talking about? What? Are you kidding? I'm okay. Listen, I love the intermission between, and I call it intermission because I can go get a hot dog, I can go get a beer, I can go get some nachos one time, go get some garlic fries, go get that ice cream in a helmet. I love it. Are you kidding? Take your time, guys. Nothing but
Uh,
time.
I mean, I think they definitely are going to screw up the game of baseball. I mean, baseball is one of the classic games, all-time favorites, and with that, all these new rules with the pitch clock, the bigger bases. Um, the other thing that we can talk about is the rules with the shifts on the infield. There's no more trying to stop players from getting hits by putting the whole infield to one side of the base. They do require two infielders to be on each side of the base, no matter what. So there's no more shifting everything. They can shift the outfield now to all one side of the base to kind of prevent it, but there has to be at least two players on each side of the base before they go ahead um, and do a shift on the infield. So I mean, there is a lot of crazy rules.
Listen, if you stack up your players all on between first and second base, then guess what? As a batter, get better at batting. Learn how to lay down a bunt that way towards third base. So listen, I don't like it. Sorry, Major, I don't like it. I mean, I think that if anything, the games are going to get faster because of that. Because then you're going to have the players in the right position. That the guy, I don't like it, and I don't like this pitch clock thing. I don't know about the Major says that the ticket prices should be less. Sure, I'm getting less entertainment, but it doesn't stop Broadway from charging as much money, whether it's a 45-minute play or a 4-hour play. So baseball, MLB, any major sports franchise is not going to lower the prices for you guys, unless, of course, we're talking about like Miami or something where nobody goes to see Tampa Bay. So, all right, what else we got? Listen. I hate it all. I hate it all.
Yeah, so that's what we have for baseball as far as the new rules. Right now, we don't have much information as far as games. Right now, as many of you guys know, I don't know if you guys been watching, they are in the World Baseball Classic, which they actually, instead of spring training, the major star players, they play for their countries. So it's like a little tournament they play before the season starts. So there's not much really going around about baseball right now. No crazy news or anything like that. But how about we jump over to the NBA party?
Yeah, sorry. I think you have a stat also, though, right? Because I mean, like I said, I think that my games when I usually attend are between 3 and 3.5 hours. Is that typically what a MLB game runs, or I mean, what are they looking to shorten it to? An hour and a half, 2 hours?
So I'm not sure exactly what they're looking to shorten it to, but I do have an interesting stat here for you guys. So they were trying to say that the average time of a nine-inning Major League Baseball game in 2022 was 3 hours and 4 minutes, which is actually a 6-minute decline from 2021's all-time high. So it's already decreased since 2021's all-time high, but they're saying that the time of the game has been rising consistently since the first crossing of the 3 hour mark in 2014. So, according to statistics, the games are actually getting longer, even though it doesn't show that in the last couple of years. So, they're trying to cut it down a little bit. Now, I'm not trying to see if they have a goal, necessarily a goal, what they're trying to get the games down to, but they're just trying to speed up things to not have it dragged out so long.
I don't care if it's MLB, NHL, NBA. People don't get there on time. People can't even make dinner reservations on time. So now all of a sudden, if I have a 2 hour window to watch this game, it's either A, going to force me to get there on time, which is never going to happen because I still got to pay, I still got to go through traffic, still got to hit the freeway, still got to do this. And you've seen it. The third inning, you still got seats all around you. So now if I go and bust I think people, it's not just LA. Are you kidding me? It's traffic everywhere, dude. But listen, I'm only going to be able to watch about 45 minutes of this game. How the hell am I going to get 6 Captain Cokes down in that amount of time? I'll try. I will try. I promise you. But I won't be able to do it. All right, what else we got? So the NBA. Yep, let's talk about that.
Okay. Yep. So with the NBA, we do have a couple of things here. We're looking for who's possibly going to be contender for MVP this year. I mean, we have people in the run there for Luca, Giannis. Me personally, I think the Joker is going to take the MVP again this year. Um, I think that's a really good prediction as far as what we have here. But the major thing that many of you guys probably heard us talking about it on whatnot and stuff there is what's going on with John Morant. And I think it was Tiny that mentioned it earlier about John Morant was suspended 8 games.
I think, yeah, something about suspended 8 games. But hold on, let's go back to the MVP before we talk about the non-MVP. I mean, if there's an award for biggest fuck up, Jaw's getting it right now. But Jaw's done. But let's talk about the MVPs here. to me, there's been what do you call it? A lot of talk about Luca. So I mean, Luca is dominant. Luca is amazing. Wouldn't he be? What about LeBron? Wouldn't LeBron be the shoe in for the MVP this year?
I mean, LeBron has done a lot for his team. I mean, but with his injuries, it's hard for him to get the MVP. His with injuries there, and plus he's not getting the job done. He's not getting the wins that he needs to go ahead and get LA a championship. LeBron James. But it's definitely something that I don't think LeBron has. LeBron hasn't won an MVP in a while in the league, and I mean, as many people think that he has MVP caliber, I mean, it's hard to get it done. I mean, so with the performance
Is
and
it
staying
so? All right.
healthy,
Isn't it kind of like the Oscars though? Brandon Fraser wins for whatever actor of the year, whatever, and everybody's all sad because of his previous acting things that have happened, and now he's touched, and now everybody's touched about him being touched and all that stuff. So it's like, hey, Brandon Fraser, here you go. We love you and all that stuff. Yeah, Anthony Davis is one that I was actually keeping my eye on right there. And I got to say, I think Anthony Davis has really stepped it up. I love Klay Thompson also. I think Klay has just done a bang up job this year. Jason Tatum, of course, to Andy Yo, he loves Andy Yo. Luca is super dominant. You like Jokic, but there's so many players out there, and I like Anthony Davis personally. I think that guy is really stepped it up. Who's your pick for MVP? You
my
said
pick
Nick.
is Nikola Jokic, the Joker. I mean, he is putting up unbelievable numbers, averaging almost a triple double for as big as he is and as like soft of a guy that he seems to act. He puts up numbers. He gets the assists. He's unstoppable in the paint. Yeah, Giannis is up there, kill shot, but it's going to be a close toss up. I mean, personally, I would if I had to put it up to who can be the MVP this year, I would definitely put it between Giannis or the Joker. To be honest,
Who just scored 71 points? Was it Jason Tatum?
that was Donovan Mitchell. Was it? Yeah, Donovan Mitchell. I think was 71. Correct.
How is Bugs Bunny? How is that even possible? In games that are scoring 120 points, when you're scoring 2/3 of the game, are they just passing you the ball because you're on fire? I mean, it's Dame. Yeah, I did it. How is that even possible? 71 points. I mean, you've got to be raining threes. It's just insane.
It's raining threes. It's being locked in the zone. I mean, as people say, it's a team game, but at that time, when someone's locked in the zone and they're not missing, it's just a heat check at that point. It's just how many shots can I make in a row before the flame goes out. And I mean, sometimes the flame doesn't go out and people just are unstoppable. And when you have players of that caliber, as you said, Lillard, Donovan Mitchell, Kobe's done it in the past. We're talking about top tier players that are some of the best in the league. Um, Hall of Famers potentially in the future, been multi-time All-Stars and stuff like that. So I mean, a game once and twice in their career like this is definitely something crazy. If you think about one of the crazy stats when I think about it, how Wilt Chamberlain, even though there's no video footage of him ever scoring 100 points in a game, uh, that's supposed to be the rest. That's supposed to be the record is 100 points in a game, and as he did that in his NBA career. So I mean, they have those rare breeds out there that can definitely pop off and go on a scoring spree, but it is an amazing thing to see there.
Well, when I played professional NBA, I scored 101 points, but there's no record of it either. So, yeah, sorry, Will. You don't have proof. It ain't good in my book, dude. So, listen, it's all full floor. All right, what else we got? What else we got in the NBA here? Giannis is a great option also for MVP as well. So, who else we got? What else we got
So now
in
we're
NBA?
gonna go back to Ja.
Uh,
Ja, is he a villain or is he gonna regain his career and just be normal Ja? What do you guys think?
well, I mean, listen, I'll wait for the chat to get in here, but listen, you see it in NFL. You see it a little bit in MLB, but you see it really in NBA and NFL a lot. And these players, they get that dose, they get that stardom, that fame, that money, and they lose it. They're invincible. And I don't know, young and dumb is probably just the best way to describe it, Major. Absolutely. They just Aaron Hernandez, great example in my opinion. I think that they just think that they're untouchable, and it's such a shame to see these guys go down this road because he is such a star, such a power player. The moves that he makes, it's reminiscent of Michael Jordan to me. When you go from the right hand underneath to the left hand, you do a backside layup, whatever. It's just absolutely insane to me. But then you get around that wrong crowd, and listen, the coaches, in my opinion, the team around them are a little bit to blame, but it's really ultimately the man at the end of the day who has to make his own decisions, and Ja made the wrong fucking decisions.
Yeah. So as we know, Ja got busted with a gun. Apparently, he took it on the team playing with him in Denver, which is a big violation. Plus, he got caught on Instagram, I think, showing the gun off and partying with his friends and stuff, being irresponsible. I think part of the reason, yeah, he is an adult, but these are people that went from most of them nothing to stardom, having, like you said, having the money and stuff like that. So they don't know how to do it. So they don't realize that these people are supermodels, or like not role models, not supermodels, I should say, but role models to a lot of people. And they have to make that transition from being a nobody to somebody real fast. So sometimes they're still trying to figure out their own life of being a star and having the money and all the power and stuff like that. So, like you said, I think it's just him needing to grow up. He's being young and dumb. It's not worth blowing your future over. You're going to lose endorsement. You can lose your contract. He's not even playing right now, which is definitely going to hurt Memphis because Memphis was doing pretty good before he got kicked off the team, pretty much. Um, and now they're not doing much at all without him. So it's definitely something that is concerning, but I definitely know that he is getting help. He is going to see therapists and whatnot. So hopefully he can bounce back from this. But as of right this year, I think he's done. So I'm not sure what's going to happen for the rest of the year with him.
Listen, I'm super opinionated about these things, and I won't stop being opinionated about them. Ja didn't come from a broken home. Ja didn't come from a bad situation. Ja comes from a great situation, and he got put even into a bigger, better situation. And yes, I blame the coaches, and I blame the peers, and I blame the other people around him. But at the end of the day, it's Ja that makes these decisions. I think that through the system, you need better guidance. You need better. They can't be there all the time. Henry Ruggs is a great example. You can't be there all the time, but we've given you the tools and the resources. You can call Uber. You've got enough money to get a limo. You're in Vegas at 4 in the morning. You're just showing off. You think you're invincible, and that's the problem. There needs to be counseling, guidance. And again, his peers, his teammates need to go. It might be cool. You're on Instagram, you're on TikTok. Juju Smith Schuster, another great point. As he's showing off and doing all the dances and stuff like that, when he's doing the pre-game warm-ups and everything, listen, somebody's got to pull him aside and go, look, dude, I get it. You're trying to get fans. You're trying to get viewership. It's fun. It's entertaining. Get your mind in the game. And if you see these guys getting a new posse and new peers around them, someone needs to yank them aside, the coach especially, and say, hey, get your shit together. Let me show you some examples. Henry Ruggs, Aaron Hernandez, blah, 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 and just go down the list and start, whipping these guys into shape. Don't be afraid to tell them they're not above the coach, period. The coach is number one. The coach is the ringleader. Not that I blame the coach, but they got to step in and say, I'm seeing you act a fool. Stop it. But so I mean, ultimately, I blame Ja. Will he come back next year? Will suspended for 8 games? I guess is the latest news. He will come back. Will he be as strong? Will he have the mindset? Counseling? I'm sorry, that's just a smokescreen because he's just going in there and going, all right, yeah, what do I need to say? Okay, sure, no problem. I apologize. Here's my letter of apology, everybody. I acted a fool. It's over and done. So it might be all about the player, but listen, the NBA coaches still need to step in. You want to reprimand the players, make them sit down. The GM doesn't like it. Someone's got to take control. Someone's got to be the adult here. Clearly, Jock can't be. All right, what else we got, Bomb?
Yeah, so that's what's happening in the NBA. I do have some picks here later for the picks of games of the week. We'll talk about that in a little bit here, but let's go ahead and go into your favorite sport. I know that you're a huge, huge fan of the NFL. So let's go ahead and shift over to the NFL a little bit because there's a lot of stuff that's apparently happening right now. We have major trades. One of the biggest ones that we just talked about recently, I guess that is finally confirmed, is that Aaron Rodgers is going to the Jets. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't like it. I mean, I gotta be honest. Like, I don't. What's why? I don't know why he could probably choose anywhere he wanted to go. So are these the only people that have showed interest in him? And I don't understand the whole trade thing and the cap and and all this stuff. But what happened in Green Bay? That's what I'm more concerned about, because if his attitude, because you've seen Aaron Rodgers' attitude over the last 2 seasons, I'd say, kind of take a little bit of a turn from the growing out the hair to the rebellious type of attitude. I get it. I understand. But why were they done with each other? You have a legacy. You have an unbelievable chance to retire. I love teams. I love teams and I love players like Yamir Yager. He's hated in Pittsburgh because he left Pittsburgh. Ben Roethlisberger is revered in Pittsburgh. And there's a guy that was actually thinking about coming in and playing as number 7 for the Steelers. And the whole town, Pittsburgh Steeler Nation said, you ain't playing as number 7, bro. That is sacred. So I think that Aaron Rodgers, for whatever reason, I think he's got a bad attitude. I think he's just fucking over it. I think he's tired of Green Bay. I don't know what's wrong in the back end of the system there, but I think he really showed his kind of colors about Green Bay this past season with his whole holistical approach and his going into these caves and stuff like that, to his girlfriend problems with the NASCAR racer, whatever her name is, breaking up with her, and then to another girlfriend. And I think Rodgers has a little bit of psychological issues going on, and I don't see how the Jets are going to help that. I think he's a great player, and I would love to see him win a championship, but I think there's something going on, and the Jets need a leader. I don't know if he's in the mindset to be a leader. And the other thing, kind of stepping aside to that, is there are so many great QBs and great QBs coming out. Why are we recirculating some of the bad QBs that are out there? Why do we need some of these older players? Devontae Adams go.
Yeah,
God,
I agree with that, Major.
that may be, but it's is it a money grab for him at this point? Is he that pissed off that Adams? This is a business that the NFL is running, and the league and the GMs and the ownership. It's all about a business. It's all about selling and putting asses in chairs. So for me, I don't like him going to the Jets because I don't think the Jets are a winning team, and I don't think that as much as he is that good, he is in the later portion of his career, and they were even talking about retirement. So can one player make that big of a difference at the Jets? The answer is no.
Well, yeah, I agree with you, but it is a lot of stuff to consider because, I mean, if he can get his mental situation in a place where he's happy again going to the Jets. Now, you don't forget the Jets also signed, what's his name? Alan Lazard as wide receiver. They have Garrett Wilson as a receiver over there. And then they're in talks. I don't know how true it is if they can land Odell Beckham. If they land Odell Beckham, that's 3 elite wide receivers there. If he can get his mental mindset back into play, the Jets might have a potential if they can get the team chemistry down and stuff like that. It's just really it comes down to the quarterback, like you said, though. Can Aaron Rodgers be the prime, not necessarily the prime of his Aaron Rodgers years, but can he be the old Aaron Rodgers? Can he lead a team to a championship, especially if he has the tools around him? If he gets Odell Beckham, which is a big thing, that's not. There's talks about it, but ultimately, can Odell Beckham end up with the Jets? I think that is hard. He is an elite receiver. I've seen some training videos of him recently, and he still has the skills and potential to be one of the top receivers in the league. So I'm sure there's going to be other teams that are interested in where he's going to go. I'm not sure. What are your thoughts on where Odell Beckham's going to land this year?
Oh, there's no way he's going to the Jets. there's no way. I mean, I think he's absolutely going to the Giants. They're talking about him going to the Cowboys as well. I don't know how, as Jerry Jones, with the amount of disrespect that OBJ has shown in the past to the Cowboys. You go and sign him. I know Jerry Jones is all about the ring, but I don't see that happening. I absolutely see him going back to the Giants. He knows the unit, he knows the coaches, he knows the staff, he knows. I think OBJ hands down is going to the Giants, and I think he's going to do great with Daniel Jones. I like Daniel Jones. I like this kid. I can't wait to see what he's going to do in the next couple of years. I think he made a very strong run last year, but I don't think there's. And I think OBJ, he just wants a ring. He just wants another ring. He's just chasing that. And like, put me in at the last minute, coach. Let me make that one winning play, this play, and that's what he wants again. He wants that stardom, that fame. I think he absolutely has the talent and the ability, and I think he is a great wide receiver. I don't know if he is going to be able to play a full season without getting hurt, but is he one of those players where you interject at certain time points and you say, all right, you're not going to play three downs, every single time. You're going to play one or two, and we're going to insert you every once in a while. And I think
So
that's really his key.
yeah, no, I agree with you completely. And I just saw what Major posted in there. And Waller didn't go to the Jets; he went to the Giants. Just to let you know that.
What happened?
So I was just responding to what Major had said in the chat there. He said they just got Waller at tight end too, but Waller got traded to the Giants, not the Jets. So I just wanted to correct him there a little bit, just unless there's something I missed. But I'm pretty sure he went to the Giants instead.
All right. So I like OBJ. I don't like the Aaron Rodgers move personally. I don't think the Jets are a winning team. I don't think they have it in them. They never will. All right, who else we got?
Yeah, so we're gonna cover a couple other trades. I have a list here for you of some trades that we haven't covered yet. One that I just mentioned was Darren Waller going to the Giants. He's leaving the Raiders. Talking about the Raiders, they signed Jimmy Garoppolo from the 49ers. So we'll see how that ends out and playing out there. If Jimmy Garoppolo can be an elite enough quarterback to go ahead and get the Raiders contention as well. A couple other trades that we have here that are huge. Jalen Ramsey got traded from the Rams to the Dolphins. So to add on the defensive side of things over on the Dolphins over there is a big trade that they had. Who else do we have here?
Well, let's talk about the Dolphins. Let's talk about the Dolphins because I'm very curious what your thoughts are about Tua. I think that when you talk about, or when I talked about, having a great structure behind you, a great a team behind you, Major said peers and stuff like that. Who is advising Tua that he should retire? This is not healthy. This is a guy that's not going to live past 45 years old, or he's going to have some serious problems. And, I've talked about it before. I've had a concussion last year, and I'll tell you, I don't feel the same. And mine was very, very bad. And I can only imagine as an NFL player having 3 concussions, 4 concussions, 5. At what point does the team go, hey, listen, man, like Tua, buddy, we got to think about your livelihood, your health. You can't be in a chair at 43. When does somebody step in and say that?
I think the doctors need to work on that in the NFL. Now, I hate to say it, but concussions is almost a guarantee in the NFL. I mean, I know they're trying to protect players from head-to-head contact, staying away from that neck and head area, but sometimes there's just going to be plays that are just unpreventable. We've seen plays like that happen before. People get knocked out, people get injured. Prime example, we talked about it in the past. Damar Hamlin, that was a freak incident that was not intentional, and just something happened. So with Tua, with all the concussions that he's gotten, there has to be a limit. I mean, if I was a league, if you get a certain amount of concussions per year, maybe I would say, hey, you have to sit the remainder of the year just to protect the players a little bit more. But that is part of the game. But Tua, if he can stay healthy and avoid getting hit, I think what they need to do to prevent that is get a better offensive line. If they have a better offensive line to protect him, half of these plays don't occur. They have the receivers, they're getting the defense on there, so the Dolphins can definitely be a threat, but they need to get an offensive line around Tua to protect him from getting more head injuries.
Boy, listen. This is there you go. Sign Big Ben, love it. Bring that bad boy out of retirement. This is a business. So when you say that the doctors need to protect him, the doctors are the ones that put him back out there. And you mean to tell me that the doctors are the ones that made that decision? No, it was the GM and it was the ownership that said, get that fucker back out there. He sells seats. And that's what it comes down to. So those doctors, as I mentioned before, even on our on the Whatnot show, those doctors should have been fired. And they're the ones that are going to be blamed because they're the ones that ultimately signed off and said, Tua, you're good to go. And then when you saw that whole contorted finger thing, that's just that. Listen, somebody needs to play that for him every single day that he wakes up and says, do you really want to go back out there, buddy? And whether you have a great O line or not, it's the other side that you can't control. What about the new young talent that comes in, the first year guys that come in that just don't really know how to slide or do this or that or tackle? And you get one more shot, this dude's fucking done. Done. I man, if I'm a Dolphins, I'm looking for my backup. I'm looking for my new starter personally.
Yeah, and that makes sense. I'm not on top of my head. I can't think of who their backup is. But
Well,
I
what do you do
definitely
with
think.
Damar Hamlin? You've mentioned Damar Hamlin. What do you? I mean, this guy died on the field, and I can't believe he's up and walking around. Do you go, hey, listen, I think I'm gonna go take a desk job somewhere? Like, I mean, what do you do if you're that guy?
I mean, it's a scary situation, especially to experience something like that. I mean, but it's the love of the game. I mean, your health obviously comes first, and that's the most important thing for all athletes and just in life in general. Um, that's something that you definitely want to look out for. But I mean, I think he will, if they clear him and he feels confident enough and can get past that incident and put that in his past, I think he can bounce back from it. Definitely still play in the NFL. I've seen crazier things happen. Not,
You
it's
see
gonna-
crazier
not,
things than he
I,
died? No,
yeah,
you.
I can't. I had to rethink that when I was thinking about
Yeah.
his died, but still, I've seen some crazy injuries. Not to an extent, but I see some crazy injuries where people thought their careers were over and they were still able to come back and still perform at top level. So
But every
it is,
time you've got that ball, you've got. I mean, even if you don't have the ball and you're running in the play and you get sideswiped and hit in the chest again, aren't you just immediately grabbing for your chest, going, "Oh fuck, look, I'm gonna die." I don't know how you listen. That's not even a mental game. That is just. Man, I don't know, dude. I don't know how you come back from that. I don't know why you come back from that personally.
yeah. I mean, hey, if he can not come back, work a deal with them, or they'll pay the remainder of his contract or something, to make sure he's set for life for something like that. That would be nice to see. But like you said, it's a business at the end of the day. So the reality of that is rare. Um, they're there to make money. The players are there to try to make money, plus the love of the game. So it's all up to a business side of things and what can happen from there realistically.
All right, so Jacoby Brissett's the backup, as Major said right there. He started rookie class year 2016. At what? Just don't take a hit. Okay, whoop, just keep.
Right.
All right, so 2016 rookie year for Jacoby Brissett. At what point do you go? All right, like maybe we go find some young talent. Guy's been in the league 7 years, maybe 8 seasons, whatever you want to call it, and he hasn't had that much of a bang up career. Aren't there other people out there that have bigger, brighter talent than him? C.J. Stroud coming in the league. I mean, Sam Howell. Like, what are we thinking here with a guy like Jacoby Brissett and Tua maybe on the verge of being out, and Jacoby Brissett being the number one?
I definitely think they need to get a backup. Me personally,
Back up to the
Jacoby
backup.
Brissett. Yeah, backup to the backup. We have Tua. If Tua is out or his career is over, which hopefully is not, but if his career ends, Jacoby Brissett definitely doesn't have what it takes to go ahead and lead a team to a championship. Not even let alone get a couple wins. And I hate to say that because he's an elite quarterback as well. All quarterbacks are obviously they're in the NFL, but I mean I think they would be better off with drafting some young talent. Like you said, we do have some good quarterbacks coming into the league next year. Um, it's a matter of who they can land, but I definitely think if they can land a good quarterback, the Dolphins will still be in a good place as far as if they keep their defense where they are. Now that they got Jalen Ramsey, if they keep their receivers because they have Tyreek Hill. On the opposite side of Tyreek Hill, they have Waddle. So if they can keep all their receivers healthy and they can get a good quarterback, I think they'll be fine.
So, all right. So, Derek Carr is one of these guys that I don't understand. And again, I keep going back to why do we keep recirculating people? Uh, Dan Marino, why do we keep recirculating people? Let me just go. I just looked up his stats. 2022 with the Raiders, right? And he's been with the Raiders since 2014 that I'm seeing, right? Derek Carr. Uh, Last year, 60.8% completion ratio or a percentage. 60%. So, okay, 24 TDs over the entire season, 14 interceptions. 2021, 68.4% completion percentage, 23 TDs, still 14 interceptions. Then the year before that, 67%. Then 2019, 70% completion percentage. He is almost double digit interceptions every single year. Is and his career low was in 2014, I believe it's his rookie year, 58.1% completion percentage. 2019 was his best year of 70.4%, not even rounding up to 71%. Still 70% completion percentage with a low of 8 interceptions. I mean, dude, what? Why? What is the love affair that the league has with Derek Carr? Is he just been on the wrong team this whole time? Is that just it? I mean, for what? 14, we're talking almost 10 years in the league, and they couldn't figure out that he was the wrong guy? Are you kidding?
I agree with what Major said in the comments. I don't think it's that it's the wrong team. It's just getting consistency. Every year that he's been in the league, like Major said, he's had a different coach or offense every single year. So it's a lot of adjusting. I mean, some offense might play into each other, but it's a lot of adjusting, learning new play calls every single year. He has an amazing arm. He's a good quarterback. Um, Age is sneaking up on him a little bit, but as far as Derek Carr, I think he just needs consistency. He has to find somewhere where he can land a job where he's with the team for longer than a year or two, and where he can learn the offense, build the chemistry with his other teammates there, and actually learn the system. And then he might have potential. But if he keeps on being on the move like this, it is going to be hard to gain that confidence and want to continue to play the game, because obviously I wouldn't want to be a quarterback bouncing around from league to league, or not a league to league, but from team to team, excuse me, and not have a set home. So I definitely think it has to do with getting him somewhere where he can actually be happy.
Yeah, but he's had a set home. Like he's been stable for the last 10 years, 9 years, almost 10 years, whatever. I just don't see how we go around and say he's a good QB with 14 interceptions last year. And I'm sure there's other people in the league that have had just as many. I mean, Russell Wilson, listen, he's a great QB. He had a real tough year last year, but we can't bank 1 year off his entire career. We've got 10 years, 12 years of history with Derek Carr. We know what he's done, we know what he's capable of. And it's a 70% completion percentage at best. At best. I don't get it. Dude, it baffles me. But go ahead. All right, what else?
So that's pretty much what we have for as far as we did. We covered baseball, we covered basketball, we covered football. Um, I know for hockey, I have a couple things as far as hockey. Just some games that are popping out, standing out to me for the week. So let me just pull that up here for you guys. Give me one moment here.
Who do you guys like as a QB right now, up and coming? That's like saying you live in the same home and have a new. No, it's not. It's not. This change is not going to reinvigorate Derek Carr. I mean, I'm sorry. It's not. It's not. And if he was that unhappy with his wife, he should have bailed a long time ago because he's had plenty of options to get out. I don't think he's in elite QB. I don't think he's in that status. Might be a good QB. Might have a great arm. Guy's getting up there. I'd rather see OBJ as a quarterback. I like OBJ. Who else we got?
So first quarterback, I would. I'm trying to think of who we have. You're gonna draft him this year. um, I'm trying to think of who else can be a good quarterback to replace that for him.
Going Stetson Bennett. Ratter, whatever. I always want to call him Radler or there's Spencer Rattler or whatever his name is, but then there's the other guy, Ratter or something. I don't even know. It's I always want to put an L in his name, but listen, there's a lot of talent coming out here. We still have Kenny Pickett that's with the Steelers and stuff like that. I think he's going to do very well. He got his feet settled last year, so I think obviously the nerves took over. I mean, we had a lot of QB changes last year early on with the Steelers, and went down to our third string quarterback. Hey, the doorbell. What do you know? What do you know? All right. What else we got going on, everybody?
Yeah, so I was looking at the NHL. There's not many games on that would be like a top-notch game that I would put it out there. I mean, there's a couple of games. One of the best ones that for the week that I see so far, it's going to be on TNT actually tonight. The Colorado Avalanche versus the Toronto Maple Leafs. They're both fighting for a playoff position uh, with a close record, not far behind each other. The Avalanche are at 37 and 22. Maple Leafs are at 40 and 16, or excuse me, 18. So they are pushing for playoff contention. That's probably what I would put the game of the week as far as hockey is concerned. No big news as far as major trades or anything going on in hockey there. But some of the things I definitely want to cover is what I would think some of the games of the week are. Um, with the NHL. Let's go ahead and talk about a little bit about sports betting here. And what I have for picks of the week, and I don't know how many of you guys legally can bet where you guys are for sports betting.
Well, I can legally do it through a friend of mine.
Right, that's one way to do it.
There you go. Who do you like for the picks of the week then? What are we talking about? We're talking about baseball. You can't bet on baseball for spring training, right? Because right now it's that whole World Cup type baseball thing, right?
They do allow you to do betting for spring training. I don't do spring training because the games for spring training, obviously, the starters play half, like a couple innings, then it's the backups. The scores are all over the place. It's really hard to predict. Um, as far as hockey, my favorite thing to do in hockey is just doing. I don't know if you guys seen in the Discord. I'm going to be getting up on that Discord here later this week. But we are going to see hockey. I like doing a lot of picking the final scores, and I've hit multiple times picking that final score, which is not too hard. And what's cool about sports betting, at least where I'm at, is they do live betting. So my key, I'm going to give you a little tip of the trade. By the end of the second quarter, it'll still allow you to pick the final score. And so I put it at the end of the second quarter. I kind of see where the score is, and usually there's only 1 or 2 goals scored per period. And I would put the spread right kind of where it's at after the second quarter, and then it'll be good for the rest of the game. So that's how I kind of predict the correct score. It works majority of the time there.
Are
Um,
you banking any money doing that though? Do you have to bet a lot? Because I mean, they've obviously adjusted their odds. Going okay, how many
yeah,
how many how many goals are they going to really score in the third quarter?
I make pretty decent money. I mean, a $10 bet can potentially, if you put a $10 bet, can potentially make you 300 by the end of the last quarter for predicting the correct score there. But some of the major games that I have here, because there's a lot of games here, it's per quarter. So you have to pick the final score by the end of the game. So with including overtime, if it goes into overtime. So it's always low scoring, like Tiny says. It's not a lot of scoring. You have a rare occasion where the game might go high, so it's really easy to predict final scores, especially if you can put those live bets in by at the end of the second quarter. So that's my little trick, tip of the trade there for betting hockey. There, I don't really do anything other than that. Sometimes I like to maybe do like goals scored or something like that, but hockey's a little bit more tricky. And since we don't have NFL right now, and baseball's in the classic. Really, all I have for you guys today is NBA. Now, I do have a couple of games of the week. Some of them that stick to my eye. It's going to be the battle. They're all tonight, actually, but the battle of the West Coast in California. We have the Golden State Warriors and the Clippers. And as far as I've seen right now, everybody's healthy, so that should be a good game because we'll have Steph, Clay, and everybody versus Kawhi, George, and Westbrook. So that'll be a good toss. They have the Warriors as the underdogs against the Clippers, which is surprising, at plus 120. But I do have the Warriors pulling that upset up against the Clippers. Unfortunately, I know Clippers are your team party. I'm sorry, but I do have the Warriors taking that one.
Well, the
Another
Warriors suck on the road right now, so I'm going the opposite way, dude. I'm taking the Clip show. The
right.
Warriors are not. I mean, at home, dominant, crazy, but man, I'm not confident in their ability right now on the road with the Warriors.
Hey, but they're out in their eyes. They're still at home. They're still in California. I know they don't play at the same stadium and stuff like that, but they're still home turf advantage. So a lot of people can be rooting for them as well. It's going to be an entertaining game, I think. I mean, I hope your Clippers will win for your sake. But as far as the picks, I have the Warriors going ahead and pulling the upset there. Then I have the Dallas Mavericks definitely beating the San Antonio Spurs. The San Antonio Spurs have been struggling a lot lately. Um, and I think it's too hard, especially if Luka's healthy and Kyrie's healthy. They're an unstoppable duo. So I do have the Mavericks there. I have the Celtics beating the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Mm.
And then I have the Chicago Bulls beating Sacramento Kings. And then the Cavaliers with the upset against the Philadelphia 76ers, which is my second upset of the night. That's going to be a very tough game, especially because the Sixers obviously have Harden and Embiid. Cavaliers don't have really anybody to stop Embiid. His size, his power. I mean, that's a tough person to stop. So it's going to be a good game. But on the other end of things, we do have Donovan Mitchell on the Cavs. So that's my 5-pick parlay of the night. I have the Warriors, Mavericks, Celtics, Bulls, and Cavs. The odds on that, let's see here, is
Yeah,
plus.
what's the payout on that? So we throw
Yep.
down $10. What do we
So
got?
$10 at a plus 2,092 odds. $10 would pay you $219. Um,
$219 is it
yep,
for
on a
10
five
bucks?
team parlay for $10. Yep.
Boy, that seems cheap.
So I mean, there's money to be made if you guys have it. This is like I said, we're no gambling professionals. This is all personal opinions. I do like gambling a lot. I do these sports bet a lot. I do like hitting, but we're not guaranteeing any wins. If you guys choose to follow and tell the bets that I put out here, great. If we hit, we make money together. If not, I'm not responsible. Party's not responsible. We're just here for fun, just to kind of throw things out there. But that's my parlay of the night. Definitely have two big upsets with the Warriors and the Cavs pulling upsets off tonight. But that's what I have as far as the sports bets for you guys tonight. We will be updating more sports bets throughout the week. I'm working. I do apologize because last week I had COVID. I don't know if many of you guys know. So I had COVID, so I've been out of commission. But this week I'm going to be updating that Discord. I'm going to be putting trades because we have a lot of trades going on in the NFL. I was just waiting for the trades to come through. I'm going to update the trades. I'm going to put some bets for basketball as well as hockey. And then once baseball season gets started, we're going to have a bunch of the sports going on all together. So, I mean, this is for you guys. I appreciate every single one of you guys jumping in here. Thank you
Give
for
us
putting the
the picks
Discord in.
again. Give us the 5 picks again, real quick.
Yeah, so we have the Warriors, the Mavericks, the
These are all
Celtics.
straight up money line. Or are you taking
Yep,
the? Okay.
this is all straight up money line. Sometimes I change it up. You will see me not do a money lines. I like doing a lot of player prop bets as well. Those are fun to do, which I will be putting those in the Discord. But those are a little bit more things. Thank you, Tiny. Once again, we have the Warriors, Mavericks, Celtics, Bulls, and Cavs, which is a 5-team parlay, which is not many teams to hit. I think three of those definitely. I think the Mavericks, Celtics, and the Bulls definitely have those on lock. Um, Bulls maybe be 50-50, depending if Demonis Sabonis decides to
You went
show
from a
up.
lock to a 50-50.
It,
Again, we're not encouraging you to bet and follow Bob here, but he went
yeah,
from a lock, bet the farm to maybe half the farm. All
yeah,
right.
that's the only thing I would have to think. But that's definitely what I have for you guys today. But I'm glad that we're back up and running. We look forward to doing the show next week with you guys. And please stop by, post whatever you guys have, any comments, if you guys have any thoughts, if anything you guys want to cover. Feel free, put it in the comments. We'll touch base on anything you guys want. If you guys want to add something that you guys want to see more, I know in the future, if we can get it up and running, we're planning on giving you guys highlights as well of things going on and around the league and different sports there. So we're working on that for you guys. But I'm glad to be back, and thanks for tuning in, you guys.
Guys, thank you so much. This was episode 2. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to tune in to Whatnot tonight. I'll be debuting our new mystery packs, the Party Polls mystery packs. We've got 100 of them built out, ready to go. Can't wait to display those and show those off to you guys. I'm very excited about it. The Bomb Party podcast is back every Wednesday, and we'll get more on a regular show so you guys can check it out. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bomb, as always, thanks for being the co-host, and we will see you guys soon. Be well. Take care. Go Steelers.
Good night, Party Posse.
All right.